What is going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast. This is the NXT review for November 28th, Wednesday, 2018. Another good edition of NXT, but nothing that was very newsworthy at all coming out of the tapings a couple of weeks ago from the San Jose house show that they filmed NXT for tonight, and it aired tonight on the WWE Network. A lot of people actually asked me why they taped this show and aired it, and why we weren't getting a week of WWE continuing with NXT television, building towards NXT TakeOver Phoenix. But the answer is simple. TakeOver happened a week before Thanksgiving, and I'm assuming that WWE gave their road crew and their talent the week off, or the majority of that week off, for Thanksgiving, and WWE usually tapes NXT on a Wednesday, and Wednesday would have been Thanksgiving Eve. So I'm pretty sure everybody appreciated that they got extra days and extra time to spend with their friends and family and their loved ones and just have a nice relaxing holiday weekend. So that's exactly why they taped this San Jose house show, which looked great. Crowd was awesome, but that's why we got another week of lacking storylines following NXT TakeOver and what happened at War Games. So that was pretty much that. I'm sure WWE is going to pick up the pace almost immediately. They know that we have right now going on 2 weeks of unimportant, really uninspired NXT television. So you know that they're going to come out of the gates swinging for the fences come the first taping that we're going to see next week from Full Sail University. But at least we did get a colossal main event this week with Lars Sullivan and Keith Lee. Bask in his glory. Now, I don't know how much of his glory WWE is basking in after tonight, and a decision which has me still, right now, scratching my head, but we'll talk about that and why it happened the way it did in the main event of tonight's NXT. If you guys want to follow me on social media, please do so, man. We have, at the moment, for the entire month of November, 8.6 million Twitter impressions, and that is fucking unearthly, man. That is unbelievable. At JD from NY206, man, follow the movement. Follow exactly what Tommaso Ciampa said tonight. Follow him. Oh, don't worry, man, I am. You're the best thing in NXT. But if you guys want the best thing on Twitter, then you got to follow me at JD from NY206, man. It's a great way to not only be updated when I upload a new video or new content here on the channel, but if you guys want to tweet with me during Monday Night Raw, or if you're not falling asleep during Monday Night Raw and you're awake, you could tweet with me, SmackDown Live, sometimes NXT, depending on what's going on, and the pay-per-views and the WWE special events on the network. At JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button, man. We just eclipsed. It seems like it was just yesterday that we hit 100,000. We're already over. Well over. 102,000 subscribers. Give that bell the middle finger and turn it on, man, just in case you don't have a Twitter. Turn on that bell so you are notified of all my uploads. So please do that down below. And Patreon, if you guys want to support via the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Harry's. Harry's is the real deal, bro. Harry's.com/script. Get your free trial shave set today. It comes in 3 different colors: blue, orange, and the evergreen. I got all 3. You're going to get a color of your choice, a blade, a handle, a 2-ounce bottle of the foaming shave gel, which soothes and hydrates. And you're going to get a protective case for your blade as well. All you guys have to do is go to harrys.com/script, enter your information, and pay the shipping and handling, which is probably $2 or $3 at most. And you will have the best shave of your life delivered right to your mailbox within the next few business days, man. harrys.com/script. They also have a holiday gift set available. 2 versions, a $25 and $35 version, which you guys can save $5 off right now if you use our unique link. Good for off-the-script listeners only. harrys.com/script. Thank you guys so very much for all of that. I do have some news articles before we get into the NXT review because there really wasn't much that happened on the actual edition of NXT tonight. But I do want to go over a few things, man. Being that Lars Sullivan was in the main event tonight, and Lars Sullivan right now is the talk of the town, for better or for worse, with the controversy that is going on with him right now, with his salty past, with the bodybuilder.com message boards and forums 11 years ago that some fucking idiot for a dirt sheet decided to dig up for whatever reason. I don't know why. This is being brought to light. Nothing's going to happen to Lars Sullivan. We reported this on Off the Script. We actually made, we kind of turned it into a little bit of a mini hate mail by reading the shit that he wrote, man. It was humorous. It was fucked up. And some of the things he said, nobody really should be saying publicly or at all, period. But, it's 11 years ago. We can only hope that Lars Sullivan, maturing after 11 years, 12 years, is going to look back on this and deem himself a fucking idiot and regret what he did. And it's just like the internet trolls that you see nowadays on social media. They go on and they fucking keyboard warrior everybody. Oh, I'm tough behind the screen. I'm tough over here, man. But I'm sitting in my bedroom. I got 4 eyes and I got pimples all over my face and I don't know what a pair of tits looks like, but I'm gonna verbally abuse you online. That's what they do. Twitter wasn't around 11 years ago. So we have Lars Sullivan going to the message boards and acting like you see someone act on Twitter nowadays. No different. But you'd think he would have matured, and I think he does understand that he was wrong, and I think he matured. Lio Rush did the same thing when Emma got fired. Remember that? Going on social media and using social media in the wrong way to crack jokes and make light of somebody who was just fired from her dream job. Man, did everybody fucking get on his case. And now he's on the main roster. And now he's on TV every week on the worst show on television, but he is on television on a weekly basis, and Vince McMahon has put his faith in Lio Rush with Bobby Lashley. Nothing is going to happen to Lars Sullivan. So, for everybody deeming him to fail already, he's not going to, because Lars Sullivan, if you look at Lars himself, the man is fucking money. He's green as grass, but he's fucking money. And I hope to see him get a lot better, and I'm going to be with him on this journey. Because I believe in Lars, and I think he has a world of potential. But right now, Raw and SmackDown are bidding for Lars. They're doing this little deal where they're making it a bidding war. And Lars Sullivan right now is in a storyline that is the best that they could come up with. The bidding war for Lars Sullivan. Apparently, Michael Cole said, what did he say? He or Corey Graves said it. The hottest free agent in all of sports entertainment? Really now? That's news to me. I don't think he's the hottest free agent in all of sports entertainment. I think 2 individuals by the name of Matt and Nick Jackson would have to say something about that. Or Cody Rhodes, being that his final Ring of Honor date's coming up in about 2 weeks. So I don't know about that, but regardless, will Lars Sullivan help the WWE main roster? I don't think so. I don't think the main roster can help themselves at all. I don't think they know what the fuck they're doing. But apparently Lars Sullivan right now is on his way to the main roster. They're planning a major push, a monster push for Lars Sullivan. And they're running vignettes to hype his arrival, and it seems like they're going to carry on full steam ahead no matter what has been uncovered with his past. Mike Johnson noted on PW Insider Elite Audio that in spite of WWE's booking problem of not having any big names in the current roster, at least they're bringing up Sullivan. And although it won't be a fucking cure for anything, at least WWE is making some efforts to mend the talent pool issue. WWE is bringing up Lars, he said, and I quote, "They're bringing up Lars, and they're doing a story now where the 2 sides are bidding for him. So at least they're trying. It's always a process. Nothing's ever going to be perfect." Now, I have always hung on to the thing that Triple H stated, that we're not going to bring up anybody from NXT unless there are plans in place for him on the main roster. I honestly don't think this is the case with Lars Sullivan. I don't think this has been the case with anybody, really, that's been called up. Everybody before Lars Sullivan has not had a plan. Almas, Sane, Owens had a plan for the first couple of months, and then all of a sudden that went to shit. So everybody, Nakamura, I mean, you could name any, the Revival, you can name literally anybody that was called up from NXT, and I don't think they've had a plan for anyone that they called up from NXT. But this is what they're doing. They're bidding. There's going to be a bidding war. We don't know what that means. He could show up on Raw one night and then show up on SmackDown the next. You know, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But all I know is he should not go to Monday Night Raw because they have way too many heels. To begin with, they don't have one top babyface over there outside Seth Rollins. They have Elias, but how can people believe and get behind Elias if he's getting fucking mauled every Monday night by this new unofficial stable of McIntyre, Corbin, and Bobby Lashley, who apparently now is the Almighty? I'm still trying to figure out why this man is almighty, or what this man does that he's almighty. I don't know. If you guys have the answer, please let me know down below. But he should not go to Monday Night Raw. Now, SmackDown has the same fucking problem. They got too many heels on SmackDown Live and not enough babyfaces. The only babyface that they have on television right now are AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy. So if you're going to add Lars Sullivan to the mix, you're just going to, again, overcrowd a roster with heels. And this is the answer for everybody. If you talk to the community, this is the same answer. You talk to the fans of the product, this is the community. Oh, turn them heel. Turn everybody heel. That's the solution for everything. You know, it should have been done with Bobby Roode. It should have been done with Roman Reigns. Guys like that, it's legitimately the right decision to turn them heel. But WWE didn't do that. Bobby Lashley, I guess people were calling for Bobby Lashley's heel turn for many, many, many months. But now that you turn them heel, it's the same instance with SmackDown Live. There's not enough baby faces on Monday Night Raw. You got Rollins. You got Elias now, who's over, but you can't be burying him every week. Finn Balor, right? You can't be burying him every week either. It's the same fucking thing that happened to Balor on Monday Night Raw. He got fucking destroyed. How are people supposed to believe in these guys if you constantly have them go out there and lose? You can't do that. Lars Sullivan is not going to fit in on Monday Night Raw. He's going to stand across the ring from Bobby Lashley. He's going to stand across the ring from Drew McIntyre. He's going to stand across the ring from Braun Strowman. But you want to present Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley and guys like that as monsters on that show. If Lars Sullivan is standing next to those guys, he's going to be looking up at them. I don't want Lars Sullivan to be looking up at anybody. People should be the ones looking up to Lars Sullivan. So, SmackDown Live is the only place. You could work with guys like Jeff Hardy, throw him around. Work with guys like AJ Styles, throw him around, who will bump for him. You could work with guys like Rey Mysterio. I'm sure Rey Mysterio could make Lars Sullivan look like $1 million. So that's what you got to do with Lars Sullivan. But that's the storyline that they got going on there. It's going to be a bidding war. I don't know what that means, but hey, according to Mike Johnson, at least they're trying. I wouldn't even give them that much praise on that. They're not trying. And they haven't tried in years, is WWE main roster. Moving on here, man. There was a issue here, or a story, and there's an issue with fans in the general area of the United Kingdom. And some of them went on to attack Pete Dunne. Now, apparently, WWE has set new restrictive rules to their contracted employees coming out of the United Kingdom. WWE is setting limits on who they can work with. Obviously, we all knew this was coming. This should come to no surprise to anybody, so I don't understand why people are getting so salty over this news. Yes, WWE is going to sign Pete Dunne and then have him go work for another fucking promotion that isn't affiliated with WWE. How fucking stupid can you people be? Like, I don't understand that. And not even on top of that, why would WWE allow Pete Dunne or anybody contracted to NXT UK or any of the talent that they're taking from the United Kingdom and bringing on into the WWE? Why would WWE allow these individuals to wrestle here and wrestle there? You know, it may be an unsafe environment. Why would they allow them to rack up, I would guess work or workload elsewhere with the higher risk of getting injured. I'd rather them get injured on WWE's watch, on WWE's show, than having them go out there for a meaningless fucking payday with nothing to do with WWE and then get hurt and then you're out for the rest of the fucking year. 8 to 10 months on the shelf, and then WWE has no use for you anymore. And they got to rewrite storylines, and then WWE's got to pay you. It's not really a good business move. But people are reacting to this new restrictive law that WWE's putting in their contracts for their UK performers. This is exactly what was going to happen. This is a global takeover for Triple H. You knew this day was coming. I'm sure there will be other people in the independent UK scene that's going to come on up that you could get behind and follow his journey to make it to the big time. What is your ultimate goal? If you are a performer, what is your ultimate goal in the business come 2018? Do you want to stay working local UK shows for 10, 15 years? Or do you want to get on a takeover show? The answer is simple. You want to be around Triple H and what he is building. Simple as that. And more people in the industry are following suit. WWE UK talents are currently going through a bit of a change. They're getting more money because WWE knows that they have to throw more money at these guys to compensate for missing whatever shows that they have coming up, or whatever shows that they were scheduled to work, or whatever shows that they want to work to make some extra money. They're getting more money, but now there is a restriction about where they're allowed to work, and it might cause some indie companies a bit of stress in the process. This was coming for months. You should have been readily prepared. One fan tweeted out to Pete Dunne saying, I quote, "I don't think you're truly seeing it from the fans' perspective. You're only thinking what's best for business for yourself, Pete Dunne. You're selling out to the big American corporation and forgetting your grassroots." End quote. Now, Pete Dunne is the longest reigning current WWE champion with the United Kingdom Championship, and clearly, Pete Dunne went on social media to defend himself against this fucking imbecile. And he says, I quote, and I don't really need to follow up on anything here with an opinion because Pete Dunne pretty much said what I would have stated. He says, and I quote, "I put 12 years, a countless amount of money, and months away from home at a time in an attempt to get my dream job. When you finally achieve your goal and you can create a great life for your family, I'll make sure to discredit your hard work and tell you when you are a sellout." End quote. He goes on to say, "Without the hard work of myself and countless other wrestlers with the goal of signing to a major company, there wouldn't even be a thriving UK scene to begin with. Support independent wrestling and support independent wrestlers as they take the next step in their career." I couldn't have said it any better myself. If you are a fan of Pete Dunne and you watched him grow over the last 12 years, why would you all of a sudden say you're a fucking sellout? Why? And not continue to follow him to see how great the fucking guy could actually be on the big stage under the bright lights. Pete Dunne could give you a WrestleMania moment that you'd never forget in your entire lifetime, and you're going to abandon him now because apparently he's now working with a American big-time promotion? That is fucking bullshit. If that is that is the epitome, if that is such a terrible thing to do, go out there and provide for your family and to have these fans just tell you how much money you could make. It's fucking ridiculous. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? It's like the people that show up in my comment section. Hey, I don't want to sit here and listen to an hour-and-a-half podcast. Why do you have 10 ads? Or why don't you put timestamps in the video? Why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Nobody wants to sit here for an hour and a half. Why can't you condense it down to a 4-minute video? Like Wrestle Talk. These are the people that exist out there. These are garbage fucking people. Complete garbage fucking people. I wouldn't want that person listening to me. I would not want that person watching my content. And Pete Dunne, if I were him, I would not want this guy supporting me in whatever I do next. I wouldn't. That's ridiculous. Pete Dunne is a talented fucking guy. And he's going to limit himself to working more and more and more and making, bare minimum working independent shows when he could create a fucking legacy for himself and better his family with all the amount of money that this guy is destined to make. Absolutely ridiculous. So you need to watch what you say online, because if you're seeking attention and you're saying stupidity like that, I'm sure someone like Pete Dunne is going to really, really, really make you famous for about 5 minutes. So watch what you fucking say on social media. I don't blame him whatsoever for making the jump to WWE. The guy is absolutely one of the best that they have right now, and the sky is the limit for a guy like Pete Dunne and everybody else that WWE has taken from that scene, or that's on NXT UK. They got Devlin. He's fucking awesome. I've grown to like him. They got Rhea Ripley. They got Dakota Kai over there. They got a lot of talent. Isla Dawn. They got a lot of talent over there on that show. Wolfgang and Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Look at what these guys are bringing to the table for WWE. And WWE is not taking them out of their fucking element. They're still in front of their hometown crowds. They're still in front of the crowds that they've performed in on this entire journey. It's just done with better lighting and better production, and they're given a bigger stage. Who the fuck doesn't want that? Watch come NXT TakeOver for the UK guys, the first TakeOver special for UK. Everybody's gonna fucking bring it, and then you're gonna wonder why you said what you said to Pete Dunne. When you watch that show, then you'll know why Pete Dunne is there. The sound and the ambiance of that fucking show is all you need to know. Leave Pete Dunne alone. Let these guys make their fucking money. Seriously. Ricochet came to defend his decision to go to WWE because he's seen all this going on social media. Will Ospreay actually tweeted out, he's like, well, who am I supposed to fight in the UK now? And then Ricochet says, dude, why don't you come join the family? And then they were going back and forth with gifts. Never. Will Ospreay's never coming to the WWE. So then you had people going in the comment section and being like, oh, you don't want to go there and blah, 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 blah. All the same typical bullshit. But Ricochet was, by the way, I'm supposed to report this because I'm slightly jealous. Ricochet is actually dating Kacy Catanzaro. Just found that out the other day. Good for him. Good for him. Ricochet was once said to be the hottest wrestlers not signed to WWE. His signing with the company earlier in the year was met with widely positive reactions. Of course, one of the best in the world. Despite being a notable member of the NXT roster since arriving, Ricochet has attracted a fair amount of criticism. Some fans have hated the style that Ricochet represents. He and rival Will Ospreay had a match back at the Battle of the Super Juniors in 2016 that many wrestlers and fans alike called nothing but a choreographed dance routine, while others applauded the two up-and-coming stars for the impressive athletic ability that they displayed. In coming to the WWE, Ricochet was received well at first. His rise up the card and him capturing the NXT North American Championship were two huge positives in his career and in terms of fan support. However, it seems that amidst the NXT UK contract news, Ricochet has garnered some negative reactions. As mentioned, Ricochet was a top performer while not employed by WWE. His decision to go to the behemoth that is known as WWE and go directly to the NXT brand has led many fans calling Ricochet nothing but a sellout, despite the superstar acknowledging since his early days as Prince Puma and Lucha Underground that NXT was the goal for him. Now, I don't know why anyone would call Ricochet a sellout if you enjoyed his work. If you enjoyed his work on the indies and then you watch his work in WWE and what he's doing in NXT, what is the fucking difference? What is the difference? He's working with talent that I'm sure he was friends with for many, many years. He's working with very familiar faces that I'm sure he's, had drinks with and hung out with and attended parties with and hung out in the locker room several times over with. What's the difference? If he wants to go somewhere to A, make more money, build a legacy, add more to his resume as far as championships go, challenge himself, test himself, learn something new, fix what's broken about Ricochet so that he could be even better than what we see him at now, and, more importantly, make some fucking money so that his kids are better off in their future. What is the fucking problem? What is the problem? Now I don't understand why people are having such a difficult time to grasp this. Like, there's always going to be an up-and-coming star in the independent scene. When one leaves, there's someone else that's going to rise to the occasion. So I don't understand. This is the cycle of life. This is the cycle of life. Everybody's replaceable. Everybody. Let these guys do what they have to do to make money. They're busting their ass, breaking their fucking bodies for God knows how much money on the independent scene if they can still do what they do and entertain us and make money that they are deserving of. What is the fucking problem? Can we save the criticism for when they get demoted? I was going to say promoted. Demoted to Raw or SmackDown? The only thing we should be fucking complaining about is the fact of how shitty most of these guys are booked when they go to WWE. That's the reason why you're fucking complaining. You're complaining because it's the company's fault and the company doesn't know how to utilize talent. You're upset that these guys are making money. Yes, the show sucks. Yes, the company is at the bottom of the fucking barrel right now as far as creativity goes. That's where your frustration's coming from. What business is it of you to fucking complain about how much money these people are making? I don't give a fuck how much money they're making. I want to be entertained. Keep the fucking bullshit away from the real fucking issue. The show sucks. The company, creatively, sucks cock right now. Nobody should be complaining about anything but that. Ricochet replied to one fan on Twitter who claimed that Ricochet was a proverbial sellout. The champion defended himself, noting that he worked hard for over 15 years to get to where he is, working in countless independent promotions around the globe. If trying to improve himself and prove he could be someone in the biggest wrestling promotion in the company or in the world, then he is okay with being told he is a sellout, as well he should be. Because Ricochet, in my eyes, is one of the top guys that could potentially be a guy you build a brand around. I don't understand these people, man. The wrestling fans, I say it every fucking time this is brought up. Wrestling fans, simple-minded wrestling fans, are the dumbest fucking people walking God's green earth. They are absolutely fucking idiotic. Stupidity is contagious, folks. Please don't spread it. Please don't spread it. I don't understand why anyone would call any of these guys a sellout. Yes, they're in NXT. Let's call them a sellout. NXT is the best fucking thing in pro wrestling today. Yeah, they're a sellout. They're in the one place where they're fucking safe. It's like you're playing Resident Evil, right? And you fucking got dogs chasing you, you got fucking liquors hanging from the wall, you're in fucking red health, you got no fucking green herbs or red herbs to fucking mix together, right? To heal yourself, and then you get into that fucking room. When you hear that fucking nice music, the nice calming music, and you see the fucking ammo box or the treasure chest sitting in the fucking corner where you can unload all the bullshit that you don't need into, and you see a typewriter sitting next to you, that is NXT. That's the best fucking analogy I can explain and describe NXT as. NXT is a Resident Evil save room with a little fucking typewriter, as long as you have some fucking ink ribbons. And then NXT's got a bunch of ink ribbons. Don't worry about it. NXT is that safe haven for these guys. They're sellouts, but they're still performing. They're still performing as you remember them, only under a WWE banner in NXT. What is the fucking difference? Because they're not where you want them to be? Unfucking real. Unreal. That's the news. That's the news I got. Let's get into the fucking show. Not a lot happened on this show. Only Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Almighty. Jesus Christ. Bobby Lashley is giving me fucking AIDS as we speak. The Mighty. Only Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Mighty. This was a very, very good match. This was a very good match, man. Tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling is still alive, folks. If you want your fix of tag team wrestling, throw on NXT on a weekly basis. You're bound to see something good from tag team wrestling. Only Lorcan and Danny Burch win here. Thorne was brought back in the ring after Oni Lorcan. I love Oney Lorcan's suicide dive, man. It's like he launches himself like a fucking cannonball, man. All that weight coming down on top of you. He does it nice and fluidly, too. Very, very good. So he goes over the top rope. He throws Thorne back into the ring. Lorcan heads up to the top rope, but Burch gets thrown into him. The mighty lift Lorcan up in like this double bench press, lawn dart-like position. The mighty lift Lorcan, throw him into Burch. They lift Lorcan up again. Burch then comes up, gets to his feet, hits a spear, and Lorcan rolls up his opponent. 1, 2, 3. I don't know who he pinned, if it was Miller or Thorne. I don't remember who it was, but Lorcan got the pin. And the team of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch win. After the match, post-match, the mighty beat down on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and Lorcan gets launched into the ring post as crowd chants of "You Still Suck" rang out to the mighty. Very good tag team match. Lorcan and Burch, man, they're winning. They're getting some momentum, and I would love to see them with the Undisputed Era again, man. They are a quintessential, picture-perfect, babyface, underdog Cinderella team. I think they have that written all over themselves. I don't know what the majority of the audience thinks of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, but I think they have that special feel to them, and I think they have that one big moment in them that I hope that they get eventually with the Tag Team Championships. Backstage, we had an interview with Kairi Sane, who right now has foot, mouth, and hand disease, I believe. She's got this viral infection that's very contagious. She posted something on social media today saying that she was a lot better. I'm not sure if she's at the current set of tapings that are actually taping tonight. I don't know how that's going to play into the whole storyline with Io Shirai and Dakota Kai coming to her aid against Shayna and the rest of the horsewomen. But Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai spoke to the media. Sane was asked about her shoulder potentially being brought up, kicking out during that final pin. Sane says that it was the referee's call, and the referee's call is final. But if you're listening to her, it's very hard to distinguish what she's saying, and she's trying to very, very visibly concentrate on what she can say so that we understand her. But she's not done with Baszler, is the premise of the entire promo. Dakota Kai, who was no better here, very cringe-like acting, if you ask me, says she and Shirai are not going to stand for Jessamine Duke and Maria Shafir getting involved. If you guys know my history with Shayna Baszler, I do not like her. Io Shirai says, I will do anything to protect my best friend Kairi Sane, and we want all three. Man, I'm telling you, Io is pretty decent at English. But Kairi, man, she gotta speed up the English tapes, man. She gotta get that Rosetta Stone working, because if she's coming to the main roster, I mean, she is going to get utterly fucking buried on the main roster without any English and any promo skills. She's just gonna get buried. I can't even stand listening to her now. You know, she gets simple points across, but I mean, to put a microphone in front of these women, it's not what you need to be doing. Okay, and even Dakota Kai didn't even give me a good promo here. The one who could speak English here didn't even give me a good promo. So something that all three need to work on, and hopefully something that they do work on as they are mainstays in NXT. EC3 versus Marcel Barthel. EC3's back after the story of Bobby Fish injuring his knee per storyline. EC3 wins here via pinfall with the 1%er. I like Marcel Barthel, man. I think he's got great mannerisms. I loved his music. I think he's got a great look. I don't know who he was before he came to NXT. If you guys want to tell me down below, I'm just too lazy to go fish it out right now. But he was great. You know, he's very athletic. He looks great. He looks the part. He's got that heel shtick down. And it's easy to hate someone who's doing the whole German thing. You know, crowd's going to shit all over that. It's great. And then his mannerisms coming off as a cocky fucking foreign prick. I love it. It's great. I hope to see more of him, man. Him and Fabian Eichner. I got to see more Fabian Eichner, who right now is the Evolve Heavyweight Champion. EC3 wins here with the 1%er. I'm just not feeling EC3, man. It may be one of those Elias-like instances where you take this guy out of NXT and you put him on Raw and SmackDown, and the guy's actually going to do a lot better, and maybe we start seeing him in a different light. Because right now, with him in NXT, it's not going anywhere. You got guys like Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, I mean, even Lars Sullivan, all bypassing this guy as far as momentum goes. The guy is like, he came in with so much fanfare, and he has not done anything to move the needle at all. So maybe a move to SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. You know, I think Vince would love to see him on Monday Night Raw. I think that would probably be beneficial for him. You know, NXT, you know, they didn't need EC3. You know, EC3 kind of needed NXT just to kind of get familiar with the way WWE does things. But as far as everybody else, especially out of a crew of Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, this guy's TV ready. He was on Impact. He knows how the basics of TV go. I think EC3's TV ready. You want to pull him out of NXT and put him on Monday Night Raw, I'm not going to have any issue with that. And I don't think he's going to really amount to anything in NXT right now. That's just my honest opinion on EC3. But he wins with the 1%er. Maybe we'll see him on the main roster come January. Maybe he's a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. We have Dominik Dajacovic coming. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with this guy's old name, but Dajacovic is coming. And they showed him in a vignette of him kicking some gym bags and, you know, working on his martial arts or something like that. But he's coming. You know, and I want to see more of him, man. He had a great in-ring performance against Ricochet a couple of months back, man, on NXT at Full Sail. I thought that was very, very good, and I definitely want to see more of him. So we are about to see more of him. He was training in the ring, and he was using the Feast Your Eyes catchphrase. Mia Yim versus Vanessa Bourne. Very basic stuff here. Mia Yim wins with the Eat Defeat. Vanessa Bourne, outside of her hair and her look, she is completely garbage. So, I have not seen any progress as far as Vanessa Bourne goes. She's got that nice twisting suplex, but that's about it. Outside the hair and her look, she's got nothing going on for me. I don't know what the fuck's going on with her. I figured we'd start to see some progress, but there's nothing there. So this was pretty much just a job match for Mia Yim. Mia Yim gets the win because Mia Yim's probably going to be one of the bigger female stars to come out of NXT in 2019. Eat Defeat for the pin, 1, 2, 3. Tommaso Ciampa says he told everybody he'll be the most dangerous son of a bitch in the industry, and he would only need one opportunity to take the title. Ciampa says next week when he shows up, he wants the NXT Universe to do one simple thing: follow his lead. I've already done that, and I'm not going anywhere. Champ. Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan in the main event. This was a fun match, man. This was a very fun match with a very, very bizarre ending. And bizarre meaning freak accident, 1, 2, 3, Keith Lee suffers a loss. Win for Lars Sullivan. I don't know why this decision was made. This was a very, very good big man match. And Keith Lee is one of those guys I can't wait to see more of. Keith Lee is a guy that should not be doing half of the shit that he does for a guy his size. You know, leaping over the top rope from a standing position to the apron, doing moonsaults off the second rope, doing springboard crossbodies into the ring on Lars Sullivan. Guy fucking tackling with the utmost power at high speed. The guy is a fucking monster in his own right, and I can't wait to see what Keith Lee does in NXT. He has a bright future. And I see superstar written all over him already with the Bask in his glory gimmick and just the feel of his theme and just seeing him, you know, with the hood. I think Keith Lee is going to be a major player in WWE. Obviously, nowhere near ready yet, but, I mean, the best tasting meals are the ones that are prepped with care, and they take the longest to cook, because a lot of preparation needs to go into it to get the utmost taste and satisfaction out of it. That's going to be Keith Lee. And everybody else that they take their time with in NXT. Just not Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and everybody else that's coming up, you know, right behind those guys. But Keith Lee is going to be money. Sullivan looks money. He's not quite there yet as far as a main event talent, but the ending of this match came with a freak accident and a 1, 2, 3. And I'm wondering why Keith Lee's momentum was halted. I'm wondering why WWE opted to give here Keith Lee a loss to Lars Sullivan, of all people, who is being promoted to either Raw or SmackDown, or demoted. I don't want to give them any benefit of the doubt after this fucking week. Demoted to Raw or SmackDown. I don't understand that. Why would you job a guy out? I wouldn't say job. I think that's being a little too harsh. Why would you have a guy like Keith Lee, who's got a ton of momentum underneath him, lose so soon in his WWE run in NXT to a guy who's on his way out the door? I don't understand that. If this was supposed to be the ending, then it makes me wonder about the decision to call Lars Sullivan up. It has to be an issue of Lars Sullivan, and the decision for Vince McMahon to call him up. The decision had to be made after this match was even filmed. It literally had to be made Survivor Series week. It had to be. It had to be after this show was filmed. There's no other way around it. Because if this was the planned outcome here, clearly WWE had plans for Lars Sullivan in NXT. And now he's coming to the main roster and Keith Lee has a loss. So my follow-up question is, why the fuck did you even air this thing? I guess Keith Lee will be, I would assume Keith Lee's going to be okay following this because Lars Sullivan, is a monster of a guy. But you don't want to see Keith Lee and someone like Keith Lee who is clearly going to be a project of NXT's, someone who they're going to be maturing and growing for bigger and better things, why he needs a loss so early in his career. It's just mind-boggling to me. It makes me wonder that, all the stories that I heard about Vince McMahon and him not watching NXT, he don't give a fuck about NXT. He don't know what the fuck's going on down there. He sees Lars, he's like, I want him on the main roster, just based on his look. And that decision had to be made. It had to be made Friday, Saturday, Survivor Series weekend. It literally, before that shit even aired on Survivor Series, I guarantee you, that shit was made on Saturday. Right before TakeOver, the decision was made, yep, we're calling Lars up. And then they aired the shit on Sunday. They put together some half-ass video package of, random highlights of him fucking causing carnage in NXT, and then boom, Lars Sullivan coming soon. But I don't understand why Keith Lee had to be the recipient of a fucking loss here. Ridiculous, man. Good match. Just very, very confusing ending. Very confusing ending. But that's your NXT review, man. NXT is taping from Full Sail tonight for the next month, so we're going to get the regular edition of NXT next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode of NXT Review for October 28th. October. Jesus Christ. November. I wish I could go back to October, man. It's getting dark way too fucking quick over here. Anyway, November 28th, 2018, man. I'll be back on Thursday. More video game content. The final episode of WWE 2K19 My Career with Mr. 9 to 5. Almost an hour and a half of the final episode. And then we got off the script already. Episode 250 coming this weekend, man. Right now, not a lot of news. Just a lot of anger still stemming from Monday Night Raw. But until then, guys, thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,500 thumbs up here on this video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for WWE 2K19 final episode. And I will see you guys on Friday for Off the Script episode 250. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with more content.